Welcome back, trainers, and it's finally been announced. We have the Ralts Community Day coming in August 3rd, so this is quite exciting. These are the shiny variants for both Gardevoir and Gallade, which will have a split evolution, making this a very unique Community Day. Now, I did go over yesterday on my thoughts on what could be the next Community Day Pokemon, and this one was on the list, but we've all been speculating this for some time as to when it's going to come out, and the time has finally arisen. So we're going to go ahead and go over how these can be useful when it comes Community Day, the move that it can possibly get, and everything else you need to know. So let's go ahead and go into this. Guys, this is really exciting. We finally have received the Ralts Community Day. Well, very soon at least. So let's go ahead and talk about this. All right, so before we hop into all the information here, we have an image made by Jace Makings, kind of categorizing all the typings other than the normal type as to best to worst. So if we go ahead and zoom in here to Fairy, yesterday we did go ahead and talk about this as well, seeing which Fairy type was going to be the best. Is it going to be Togekiss? Is it going to be Gardevoir? Well, Gardevoir's damage output is going to be a little bit better as a pure Fairy attacker, but it's not going to be able to last as long. Togekiss's damage is almost on par, but it has a bit more bulk, therefore it will survive longer and possibly put off more damage. So it's kind of neck to neck, but they're still both pretty good, right? We're going to go over my thoughts on what it's going to possibly learn for the Community Day move regarding Gardevoir as well as Gallade, because we're going to have two of those evolutions. Now, if we look over here at the fighting type, Gallade is falling quite far behind here because it doesn't really have the ideal fighting type moveset, but that's okay. It's still a pretty good PvP Pokemon in the Great League, Ultra League. I don't know too much about Master, but it's an okay Pokemon. It does have Confusion and Leaf Blade, which can be extremely spammy and useful in those modes. But as far as the Community Day move that we'll receive, well, let's go ahead and talk about that. Alright, so Gallade is going to be a Psychic and Fighting type Pokemon with a max CP of 3093, attack 237, defense 195, and stamina 169. So let's look at the moves before we head over to Bulbapedia and then to Game Press so I can show you what I have done there. Low Kick, Confusion, and Charm for the quick moves. For the charge moves, Close Combat, Psychic, and Leaf Blade. So it's not looking so hot as far as the charge moves because it doesn't really have a great fighting charge move. Leaf Blade is looking okay. Psychic is not so great, but there is hope because it is going to possibly receive a fantastic Psychic type move. So there you have Gallade. Let's go ahead and take a look at Gardevoir. Alright, so Gardevoir is going to be a Psychic and Fairy type with a max CP 3093, attack 237, defense 195, and stamina 169. This one is already looking pretty good as far as the moves are concerned for Gardevoir. It is actually fantastic. For the quick moves, we have Charge Beam, Confusion, and Charm, that new introduced move. For the charge moves, we have Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Dazzling Gleam. Psychic, yeah, like we just went over, is okay. Dazzling Gleam, fantastic. Shadow Ball is great. Shadow Ball is going to give it nice coverage. Charm for the quick move is going to help it do massive, very quick damage, and as we know in PvP, Charm is very good. It's like a Leaf Blade clone. It just digs into your opponent, even if they're resisting them. Confusion, massive hitting move with decent energy as well. So I'm very excited now. Let's go ahead and go over and speculate on what move they can learn here. This is going to be very interesting, and if you watched my previous video yesterday, you probably already have an idea. Okay, so taking a look at Gardevoir's main series moves, let's go ahead and get an idea as to what it can learn for the Community Day. So we do have Moonblast. Okay, that could be decent. It's not what I'm looking for, but we're going to go over what I think it is going to be here in just a moment. Then we have Disarming Voice, which would be useful for PvP, not PvE, going up against gyms and raids. That would be, useless. Drain Kiss, decent for PvP. Let's see. Future Sight is a possibility, but that's not what I'm going to be picking here in just a moment. Dream Eater, another move that it could possibly learn, but yet again, not what I'm going to be going for. Stored Power, not too much. Now, there we go. The first TM move that we can see at the top, Psyshock, is what I think it's going to be getting. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, how good is that even going to be? Is it going to be a great Psychic attacker now? Well, I've already pulled up the charts, and we're going to take a look at the order in which the Psychic type Pokemon are going to be coming in at, and where they're going to be specifically landing with Psyshock as well as Gallade. Because Gallade also, like we went over yesterday, can learn Psyshock as well, making it a very viable and possibly logical pick for the Community Day move for Ralts, well, when to evolve them into their final evolutions. And then when we move down here, we have a plethora of good moves, but more than likely not something that they're going to pick. Dream Eater yet again coming up. Now I'm just excited to go over Gallade. Shadow Sneak could find some usability, but I don't see them picking that. And then we have the Move Tutor moves, which none of these are going to be good. So let's go ahead and move on to Gallade to see what it has going on and do a little comparison with these moves here so you have a good understanding as to what it could possibly learn. All right, now looking at Gallade's level up moves, and then we're going to move on down and take a look at everything. But we have to go to the past really quick, to the Eevee Community Day, when we did receive all of the Eevee evolutions, or at least when you caught an Eevee, you can evolve all of them to receive that move Last Resort, in which all of the Eevees were able to learn that. Are we going to see something similar for the Ralts when they have that split evolution? Possible. Who knows what they might do this time around. Maybe Gallade might get a whole nother move separate than what Gardevoir is going to learn. But hey, let's still speculate and go over what I think here. So for the moves that we see on this page, I mean, nothing too spectacular, right? Let's move on. Now, there it is again, Psyshock as a TM move. That's what I think they're going to get, period. And simple as that. But we can still go down here and take a look at what else they can possibly learn, or at least Gallade here. A few other comparisons. We do have Dream Eater. That is possibly option number 2 for me. And then I actually have a third option for both of the Gallade and Gardevoir that are going to evolve on Community Day. So we're looking at Psyshock, Dream Eater, and Shadow Sneak for both of Gardevoir and Gallade. Simple as that. That's what I think. That's what I've narrowed it down to. Now, Gallade can possibly learn a new fighting type move, Drain Punch. Yeah, that's a possibility for sure. But you never know what's going to happen there. I guess I can put that at the 4th option, or at least the number 2 option for Gallade. But otherwise, I'm going to be going with Psyshock, Dream Eater, Shadow Sneak, and then finally Drain Punch for Gallade. All right, now we have all of the Psychic type users that are on the top pulled up here: Gardevoir, Gallade, Mewtwo, Alakazam, Espeon, and Deoxys. So I do not just have the Psychic moves, but that's okay. We're going to filter through them and finally find where they're going to be standing as far as a pure Psychic attacker. So going down, number 1 Psychic attacker is going to be Deoxys Attack Form, Zen Headbutt, and Psycho Boost with a DPS of 19.456. And then moving down here, we're not going to take a look at anything else because there's no other pure Psychic attackers. Let's keep moving. Then we have Mewtwo at the number 2 spot with Confusion and Psychic, sitting at 16.555. All right. No other pure Psychic attackers, so that's 2 there. Deoxys Attack Form, and then Mewtwo. Up next is Alakazam with Confusion and Future Sight, sitting at 16.039. And then moving down here, we have another Alakazam with Psycho Cut. And then we have Espeon in that number 4 spot with Confusion and Future Sight, sitting at 15.621. And then we have Deoxys Normal Form with Zen Headbutt and Psycho Boost right behind Espeon. And then Mewtwo with Psycho Cut and Psychic. All right, moving on to the next one here. Gallade and Gardevoir have not shown up yet, but that's quite all right. If you're thinking to yourself, well, great, they're not going to be too exciting with Psyshock. Well, if you're a PvPer, there's other news we're going to be going over here. And then moving down, we finally see Gardevoir, but it does not have Psyshock quite yet. And then still moving down, no Psyshock on them. It's going to be on page 5. And finally, we're going to see a full team, or at least a full Psychic moveset for Gallade and Gardevoir. Gallade with Confusion and Psyshock is going to be sitting at 14.061 DPS, and then Gardevoir with Confusion and Psyshock is going to be sitting at 14.061 DPS, same as Gallade there. So there you have it for their DPS in PvE. Now let's go ahead and hit PvP. I have yet to check this out, so we're all going to learn something new here. Let's see if it brought us back to page 1. It sure did. Alright, so pure Psychic attackers. Nothing quite yet. Let's move on to the next page. Alright, first one for PvP is going to be Mewtwo with Confusion and Psychic. Then Psycho Cut and Psychic. And then Gallade with Confusion and Psychic followed right behind Gardevoir because their DPS is going to be the exact same. So it's not looking so bad. It could find some good usability. Psyshock sounds like a sweet move to me. So there you have the numbers. As far as is Mewtwo going to be a lot better? Well, obviously, but I mean that's a Mewtwo. You can't get that into the Great League. You can get Gallade and Gardevoir both in there. So think about it that way. So there you have where they're going to be landing as far as pure psychic attackers for PvP and PvE. As far as PvE, going up against gyms and raids, they're not going to be horrible, but they're certainly not going to be your best psychic attackers for sure. And as far as PvP goes, they're looking pretty decent. Alright trainers, so if you did enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends if you found it useful, and now let's go ahead really quickly and go over my current Ralts and Kirlias that I do have saved for Community Day. So Leia here is going to be a 100% IV. Thanks to this beautiful appraisal system, clear as day, we're looking great. I do believe I caught this in the wild. Yes, I did, and I walked it quite significant, 43 kilometers, okay. Alright, sounds good, and I have 790 candies, so I'm already set for those. And as you can see, I have plenty of other good IV ones. I'm going to be looking and sorting through them all once this Community Day does come around on August 3rd to see if I can find that 0 attack, 15 defense, and 15 stamina for a Great League, possibly even shiny. And then I did get this one here, which is going to be a male for, I think I got it, raid, yeah, got it through raid, for Gallade. It is going to be a male. Now I could evolve it into a Gardevoir or a Gallade either way, but I just find it more fitting to evolve it into a Gallade as it's a male. And I do believe my other 100 is going to be a female. So a beautiful, very beautiful, both of them. All right, so I'm set. And then I also have a lucky here, 15, 13, 14. So as far as the Community Day move though, let's talk about this for a second. So you're like, okay, sweet. I have all of these routes that are lucky. I'm going to evolve them and learn that possible Psyshock move. We don't know 100% what the move is going to be. That's just what I'm guessing. Psyshock, Shadow Sneak, or yeah, who knows? Something to that nature. Is it going to be worth evolving all of these if it did receive that? I'm going to tell you maybe if you evolve a bunch into the Great League, but as we've seen, it is going to be outpaced by other psychic type attackers. But it did receive, well, at least the Gardevoir, the Charm move. Gallade received it as well, but it's not going to get stabbed, therefore it's not going to benefit it too much. It can be still useful in PvP for sure, but Gardevoir is going to be looking a little bit better. So who knows? Who knows? We're just going to have to wait for them to announce that. But that is my 2 cents currently on that. And I do have a Gardevoir currently in the Great League with Charm, and I do have another one here. This is the one I caught in Chicago at GoFest. Pretty neat that it just came standard like that in the Great League. Just had to power it up a few times. Purchasing that secondary move is going to be quite steep at 75,000 Stardust and 75 candies. So the choice is yours. I personally have a secondary move purchased on my completely maxed out one here. So it's what it looks like. Let's see what the IVs are on this thing. Spent quite a bit of Stardust when this first came out. Yeah, caught it on the first day of the release, so I'm happy about that. So as far as do you want a bunch of luckies, do you need to evolve a ton of these to receive this move if it is Psyshock? I would say no, but that move has yet to be announced, so we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Let's go ahead and quickly shiny check this here. Not, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. All right, so with that said, trainers, thank you for watching, and like usual, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I will be keeping you posted as to when the Team Rocket Pokestops are going to be coming back. I don't know what is going on with that, but yeah, hopefully they do make a return, because I know a lot of people out there want to get their shinies or want to get their shadow Pokemon, and especially me too, because I did get lucky friends with somebody and we're going to trade them, and I'm going to do a few experiments for you guys. Anyways, with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.